Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
My name's Matt.
I'm Petey.
Hi, Kay.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Mimi.
I'm Joel.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
Hi, guys.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of nice things on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Right now, Matthew and I are in the farm market and we're working on getting everything set up. We're dealing with our last few cool days and then it's gonna warm up here on the farm. We're expecting it to get really busy towards the weekend, so I guess we're all excited about that. I don't know if excited's the right word or scared, because it's gonna be busy. But anyway, we'll figure it out. We kind of always do. We're trying to get this farm market set up and then we want to get the animals taken care of. You know, the morning chores. You've seen it done before. But after we get the chores taken care of and the greenhouse is all checked on, we got something important to talk about. But until then, we're just gonna get the chores finished off. Matthew and I have now got everything pulled out of the cooler and we have all our inventory stocked. So I'm gonna grab some breakfast right away and then I'm moving on to the next job. I got my breakfast, it was pretty good, and now I'm on my way up to the germination greenhouse to see if anything sprouted from the other day. I still think it's a little early, but it's still nice to check. Yeah, just as I thought, I'm not seeing anything popping out of the soil. We did have some stuff that was not on the heated tables, but we were able to move some trays around and we got it onto the heated tables now. If I take my hand and put it under there, oh yeah. It's warm. It's warm. Some stuff we pulled off of the heated tables would be our hot cherry peppers, long hot, Italianelle, mixed bell. Then we also have some parsley, and we have more Italianelle and more bell peppers. Not only that stuff, but we have multiple varieties of eggplant that needed to be pulled off the heated tables. And I think it's for good reason because these have sprouted very nicely. And last but not least, we do have a few peppers that we had to pull off. They still are working on sprouting in some areas, but these hot cherry peppers have done a fine job. 80 degrees in here, just where we like it to be. Now this place is gonna be a madhouse this upcoming weekend. We're expecting to move a lot of stuff out of the greenhouses in the upcoming weeks. And well, I think it's time because everything looks beautiful. Everybody's been putting in a lot of extra work just to make sure that things run smoothly. And I mean, it's gonna be hectic, but we're gonna do our best to work together. Before I leave, I did have a lot of people in one of my recent videos asking about these flowers. This one right here, one of my favorites, is called Night Sky. You can see it's just like looking up at the stars. And then over here, the lighter version, this is called Crystal Sky. Look at that, it also has the little white specks in there. These flowers are beautiful and they're becoming more and more popular. I'm in greenhouse number 4, just making sure that nothing needs to be watered. I think we're gonna be okay today. It's been cloudy and we watered yesterday. Here are a few of the pepper plants that we have for sales, all different types of varieties, and they're starting to get nice size. I think this upcoming weekend, these will be pretty popular too. Temperatures are supposed to warm up a little bit, probably not enough to start planting peppers where I live, but I don't know where you live. Maybe it's time to get started. Now, if you're like me and live in an area where you can't get started just yet, we do have a few plantings of peppers for sales and a few plantings of tomatoes for sales. We're just about ready to get started feeding animals. I just got one more greenhouse I need to check on. Now right outside the greenhouse, we have our cole crops that are still doing pretty well. The stuff that was eaten by the chickens, it's actually coming back, a lot of it. There's some stuff that's not coming back, you know. Some things just, they were completely dead. But I'm actually impressed. I believe this is some kohlrabi right here. But the cabbage, broccoli, the kohlrabi, all of the cole crops, they've actually been growing a little bit more from sitting out here in the cold, which is cool. These are gonna be ready to go into the field when we are ready. Now that we're done looking over the greenhouses though, we're gonna get these animals taken care of.
They're hungry this morning. Oh.
Boy, the girls are really loud this morning. I don't know what's going on. While I was grading eggs, they got a little bedding dumped in for the cattle. And then once they finished bedding up the cattle, they went and grabbed some silage as well. Not only did we add some bedding over there, we added for the calves, not only in our first pen, but we also added bedding out here in our middle pen. So now all the cattle need is grain. And then once we get grain for the cattle, we've got to collect eggs. We just finished collecting eggs, and that's it for the animals. They're all taken care of. We got 2 boxes of eggs ready to head up into the farm market, which is really, really nice. Every box of eggs that we take up usually has 24 dozen in it. So every time we say we got a box of eggs, you can figure 24 dozen to a box. So we've moved on to a little bit of a different job. We're right around these greenhouses. And since it's getting to that time where people are gonna wanna start planting vegetables, well, we need to make sure that we have plenty up in front of the farm market.
This weekend we're expecting it's going to be nice, and the nighttime temperatures are finally warming up enough that people can plant things in their garden other than like cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. The nighttime temperatures are 40 degrees, which for our plants that have been in the greenhouse for their whole lives, that's a bit cold, so we don't want to put them outside for that. So we're trying to figure out what we can take up, because people are going to be here to buy. We don't want to have to put everything away. So right now we're trying to fill up all of the cold weather stuff for sure, and then we're going to go through and come up with a plan on like how many peppers and tomatoes to take up, because now any of that stuff that we take up, we're gonna have to put away tonight and tomorrow night.
One of those things we need to take up is onions, and right now I am giving them a haircut.
Now there's a few good reasons as to why Daniel is giving the onions a haircut. Probably the biggest reason is to make sure that they look a little bit nicer. When they start to get long and thin, they fall over. And when they're in these packs, they don't have enough room for the roots to really branch out and hold it up. So by chopping off the tops, not only does it make them look a lot nicer, it will sturdy up the onion itself, and it's gonna encourage the roots to push out a little bit more, and it's gonna encourage the bulb to grow a little bit more. Since we're gonna be taking up some of these onions, we just wanna give them all a haircut at the same time. That way everything can be at the same level, and we don't have to worry about it till they need another one. Is it technically a haircut or an onion cut?
I'm not crying, so it's not an onion cut.
Since you don't eat this part, it's a haircut, because the bulb is the head. If the bulb is the head, this is a haircut.
So part of the process is we're taking stuff off the wagons that we had originally put out here. That stuff will be going up top, and then we're bringing out some of the lettuce and the smaller stuff that's not used to the colder temperatures. We're bringing that out now just so that it can be acclimated to it. We just don't want people to take this stuff home, plant it, and for it, 1, to die, or 2, just grow slowly because it's not used to it. We want to make sure that everything grows just fine for the customers. Daniel and Matthew are going to stay down around back, and they're going to continue working on loading up that wagon. And I came up top because I'm helping Dad with a big issue that we've been facing lately. And this issue that we've been dealing with actually turned into quite a big problem, which we're trying to get fixed. So many of you are probably wondering, well, what's the big problem? What's the big issue that you're dealing with? Well, to help you understand, when we built this farm market, and we had built the ground up so that we could have our parking lot, we had to put in a wall along the edges to hold the dirt in so that we could asphalt the top. Now, as you can see, the wall looks pretty nice back here, but as we start moving up to the front side, well, it started leaning in. And truth be told, it was a lot taller than what it's at right now. Now, our wall, if you had seen from previous videos, was falling over pretty bad. The top 3 layers of board that we had here were completely knocked off. So you're probably thinking, well, how did this happen? Did we do a bad job at building it? Was it just time? Was the soil underneath pushing out on it? And if your assumption was any of those, you would be wrong. There's actually a bigger issue as to why this wall has fallen over. See, up here in the front, we have all these tables during summertime and spring and fall. to put stuff on, and the customers can't pull up close to the farm market. But when it's winter, it's colder outside, we like to move these tables out of here so the customers don't have to walk so far in the cold to get into the farm market. Now, when some of the customers leave, they're in a little bit of a hurry, and we usually have stuff along this wall. But some of the customers, they back into the wall. Like, they back really hard into the wall.
And what's funny is we have pallets always put along there so they can see them. But they back into them, they hit the pallet so hard they hit the wall, and then we had metal brackets that were about 3/4 of an inch thick on the back, and they bent them.
So our wall used to be taller, and it used to have metal brackets along the back side of it to hold everything straight. But when I tell you that some of these people hit this wall with such force that it just bent those brackets right over, I would not be lying to you. I've seen some crazy stuff. Now here's the issue, Dad. Has this happened just like once or twice?
You mean in the last week?
Yeah, if I had to tell you that people have probably hit this wall over 20 times, and they've hit it without the pallets here. We try and keep the pallets here now so that people don't hit the wall, but it just doesn't seem to help. Now there's really a few reasons why we want to get this fixed. Probably the number one reason is safety. We like having the wall here, so if anyone does back into it, they stop and they don't drop down over the edge, because that would be a really big issue and we don't want anybody getting hurt. And another reason why we want to fix it up is just so that it looks nicer. Now this isn't the first time that we fixed it, but this is probably the first time we're documenting it. The boards were hanging over out to where I'm standing right now, so it was taller, but it was leaned over. And we took all those boards off the top yesterday, and now we're just brainstorming and coming up with ideas how to keep the wall straight and re-strengthen it. So Dad, what's the plan with the wall then?
Fix it.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna fix the wall, but what are we gonna do here to try and make sure that's nice and sturdy?
We are gonna screw it fast.
And we ain't using no baby screws. We got these, and we're gonna be putting them down through here, and this will help straighten it out and keep everything sturdy. We might put brackets in here later on, but for now we're just putting the screws in.
As we put the pieces in, we'll put some shims on the back side to straighten it out, because I don't want to go down any further.
Yeah, I don't want to go down any further too. Look at that. Those screws actually pulled that pretty straight. That's pretty nice. Now we are going to have a little hangover underneath, but there's not much we can do. The asphalt and the dirt pushed out from when someone rammed into it with their car. In trying to keep everything straight, we are going to have to knock some of this out of here, just so that we can keep the wall as straight as possible. So we're just going to work on knocking a little bit of this out, and then we should be good. So have you decided how high you want to go up with the wall?
Yeah, till I run out of boards.
Yeah, I guess that works. I might want to use a sledgehammer for this yet, I'm not sure. These suckers are heavy.
You know, it's got a longer on the top, and just we're gonna split the difference.
Thankfully, we saved all of the wood that we pulled off the wall before. So any pieces that we need to fit into place, we'll have them.
Maybe a screw.
You think a screw would be best there?
Yeah, and I don't know if we want to use that hole. I want to be closer to the edge here.
Close to the edge.
So, see, we want to twist it up.
Yep.
So you want there? My thing is, if I go closer to the edge, I probably will miss it.
Well, then don't, well then.
No, you won't miss right there. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a difficult job because it was pushed out so far, but I do think we're doing a pretty nice job. There's a little bow in the middle section, but that's where it was worse. That's where it usually gets hit. All I know is if we get this wall fixed and someone hits this wall again, Dad's gonna be cranky. That's all I'm saying. Man, you would think that guy backs up things for a living. He did a great job. So far, so good. This is actually working out pretty well. The wall is a lot firmer than it was before. I think it has something to do with those nails and screws that we've been putting down in, but it's sturdier than it has been in years. Yeah, Daniel was the last one that had the hammer, so he bent that nail. Look down at the side.
Now, why would he?
Yeah, I don't know why Daniel would do that. Causing us stress. Where'd that hammer go?
I just know
there it is, right there.
Oh, it's on top of the... It's a 12-11.
Oh, we're late for lunch?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was wondering why my swing
yeah. Daniel was wondering why his swings are off. We're late for lunch. My arms are getting a little tired swinging hammers, but we've got the wall built up to what's looking like a good height, but we still have plenty of boards that we want to add. We want to bring it up a little higher just so that it's more visible. At this end, this is how high the wall was before. So, I mean, it is understandable that some people couldn't see it, but we want to build it up a little higher so that we could get it nice and sturdy. We don't have any issues later on. But as you all just heard, it is now lunchtime, so we're all gonna head in and eat. All right, everyone, for lunch today, it looks like we're having halushki, and we also have some kielbasa that Grammy's been frying up. And I've already tried it. Pretty good, pretty good.
I think we did pretty good, Daniel.
I think we did.
My favorite thing is when we have to use pieces of equipment to keep everything in place. Well, everybody, look who's here. Petey, I showed up. What do you think of our wall so far? What do you think?
Looking good.
So far, so good. The wall is looking 10 times better than it did before. We're just gonna continue adding one more piece along the top, and then that will be it. So once we're finished, I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Say hi to the horsey.
Hi.
He's big, isn't he? Callie and I took a little break from work, and we made our way over to the stable. We're just saying hi to all the horses. Can you say hi, horsey?
Hi.
Yeah, she loves the horses.
Hi. Hi.
Now, before Callie and I took our break from work, we finished off this wall. It's a little higher than we originally thought we were gonna have it, but I think it's at a good height, and it's nice and sturdy. The only thing is we might have to come through and put metal brackets on it just to keep it nice and tight. I don't think that would be a bad thing to do. We'll just have to get to it. We just got finished closing up the farm market, so now we are on our way up to the house. Callie got a new hat. What do you think of your hat? Do you like it?
Hi.
Yeah, Callie really likes her new hat. A viewer from South Florida brought it for her. Check that out. What do you think? You like your hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are now up in the house for the night, and what are we having for dinner?
Sausage Italian pasta, I think.
Let me tell you, Lauren, she knows how to cook. She's taking care of me. I appreciate that, honey. Thank you so much. So dinner is gonna look a little bit different tonight. Dad had to go pick up some parts, and he had to drive all the way to Lancaster for that, which is about 2 hours for us. So Dad's not gonna be home for a little bit yet. So we're gonna get started on dinner. So once everybody gets sat at the table, we're gonna eat. And since we're getting ready to eat, you guys know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.